In my last LEGO Technic video, I explained why I thought LEGO Technic was losing its edge. We compared sets like this huge Cat D11 bulldozer to its modern day counterpart that just looks easy to draw. And yes, we also said that this Space Rover looks like something straight out of Stranger Things. So today I'm flipping the script. Instead of roasting what's wrong, I'm diving into what LEGO should be doing. These are the Technic sets I believe could reignite the magic, bringing back the complexity, the character and the charm that made us all fall in love with Technic in the first place. Let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below, and if you do enjoy the video, please do hit that subscribe button. It helps me more than you could ever imagine. And if you want to support the channel that little bit more, I have now activated channel memberships if you want to become a channel champion. Farming and LEGO Technic sound like a match made in heaven, and when LEGO teamed up with John Deere, it felt like the stars had aligned over a freshly ploughed field. The 3 sets we got so far might have just been the opening act of something incredible. First up, the baby of the bunch being set 42136, the John Deere 9620R tractor. Now at 390 pieces, it's not exactly a mechanical masterpiece, but it gets the job done. It's got steering, it's got a tipping trailer, and most importantly, it's got the vibes. Then came set 42168, the 9700 forage harvester, which said, hold my hay bale, I want to show you my rear wheel steering and movable chute. But the real MVP is that spinning forage header up front. Raise it, lower it, spin it like it's doing a salsa with your mum. It actually feels like it's doing something, which is rare for a mid-range Technic set. And finally, the big, the beefy, the lad, set 42157, the 948L skidder. 1,492 pieces of pure farming flex. This thing rolled in with 4-wheel drive, a working engine, and a pneumatic system that lets you raise and lower the blade as well as operate a claw with 3 different actions. It didn't just harvest logs, it harvested respect. But then silence. The Clabber dreams just ghosted us. Honestly, LEGO missed a trick here. If they'd kept the farming theme alive and pushed out more machinery across different price points, we could have had something special. Now imagine a fully loaded combined harvester with actual depth, real mechanical charm, and the kind of detail that makes Technic fans weak at the knees. Just look at the real John Deere combine harvester. The potential for add-ons is ridiculous. Opening grain tank doors, an automatic auger, working lights for those late night harvesting vibes, tracked wheels instead of those usual round ones, and a detachable header that sits on its own trailer ready to be towed off into the sunset. It's basically designed itself. But instead, we got set 42197, a backhoe loader that looks like it could barely scoop a teaspoon of mashed dreams. It had potential, sure, but it ended up feeling like a filler. Like LEGO said here, have this while we figure out what fun means again. I was gutted to miss set 42043, the Mercedes-Benz Arocs, in my last video, and for good reason. This thing wasn't just a Technic set, it was a full-blown engineering work of art. 2,793 pieces of pure skill and personality. The only catch, it released in 2015 and quietly retired in 2017. So if you're new to LEGO, this one's basically folklore now, a mythical beast whispered about in dusty forum threads and nostalgic comment sections. Absolutely everything was near enough motorised, like extendable outriggers, an automated crane arm with a grabber attachment and a working tipper body. This thing didn't just tick the boxes, it built the whole checklist and then drove off with it. Oh, and the alt build, an articulated construction truck. Does it look like anything we've got today? Absolutely not. What we have now looks like a Harry Potter house elf who skipped breakfast and woke up in a mood. Which now brings me to the obvious next steps LEGO need to follow up the Arocs with. They need something modern. They need a Scania grab truck, loaded with all of the bells and whistles. These trucks in real life are absolute units. Colour schemes that pop, mods go way deeper than you would expect. We're talking massive light bars, roof mounted air horns, bull bars on the front if you're feeling spicy, and an automatic tailgate for those of us who refuse to leave the cab unless absolutely necessary. The potential here is huge, and honestly, long overdue. The Arocs was a masterpiece, so a modern day successor could take things even further. More features, sharper designs, actual excitement, but please, for the love of clutch gears and pneumatic cylinders, do not give us a DAF. That thing would come with warning lights, missing pieces, and the emotional energy of a printer jam. To be fair though, even set 8110, the Mercedes-Benz Unimog U400 from way back in 2011 is a prime example of what LEGO needs to bring back. Sure, it's smaller, but the principle's the same. It's functional, it's character driven, and it feels like it's worth the price tag. Despite its size, the Unimog packed in a ton of play features, enough to justify its $200 price point, especially when you compare it to some of the hollow shells we've got today. It had personality, mechanical depth, and that rugged charm that made you want to display it and just mess about with it. Now, if we steer away from vehicles and heavy machinery for just a moment, set 42179, the planet Earth and moon orbit deserves a proper shout out. It's actually still available, so credit where credit's due, LEGO have nailed it here. Technic doesn't always need to be something you can drive, steer, or remote control into a wall. Sometimes it can just be a clever, functional build that makes you stop and go, wow, that's cool. And that's exactly what this set is. It sits comfortably in the low to mid price range, isn't overly fiddly or complex, but the end result is more than just shelf candy. It's a conversation starter, a set that actually does something visually and mechanically and stands out from the usual Technic crowd. This is proof that LEGO Technic can still surprise us when they stop trying to follow every single trend. I've always been a firm believer that LEGO needs to give us proper go-kart sets. We've got the top tier F1 builds, but what about where those drivers actually started? Every one of them grinded it out on go-karts like their careers depended on it, and yet LEGO's barely touched the concept. Imagine a full range of go-karts in the Technic lineup, small entry-level builds to get the kids hooked, mid-sized models with working steering, functional engines, and maybe even suspension, and then the big boys with thousands of pieces, 1/8 scale monsters with every last detail, adjustable pedals, chain driven, gear ratios, the absolute works. The colour options alone could be incredible. I'm thinking neon race liveries, matte black stealth builds, chrome accents if we're feeling lucky. The design potential is massive, and honestly, it could spark an entire new subline within Technic. LEGO did dip their toe in the go-kart pool back in 2009 with set 8256, simply named Go-Kart. No wild features, but the design was slick, the colour scheme popped, and for $15 it was exactly what an entry-level Technic set should be. But fast forward to 2016 and we got set 42048 Race Kart. Now things were heating up. Still entry level at the $30 price point, but this one came with a detailed engine, moving pistons, working steering, a 2-speed gearbox, and even a tilting orange seat that revealed a working transmission. That's not just a build, that's an upgrade. Now imagine what LEGO could do today with that concept. It could be a banger. 1978 is where this whole go-kart saga actually began, with set 854, Go-Kart. Gets the honourable mention of the day, and honestly, it deserves it. This thing is probably older than 75% of LEGO's current fan base, and yet it still manages to do more in 206 pieces than some modern sets do with nearly 1,000. And there we have it. Let me know what you think about these ideas down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like, please give me a subscribe, and I will definitely be seeing you in the next one.